course, live here at Gamescom. It's exciting. Super pumped to be here. Titanfall 2, you guys saw the little bit that showed up just a little while ago. That's what we're here to talk about, Lauren.
Yeah.
Titanfall.
Iteration, knew what was coming up. Everyone got ready for what was coming out.
Oh yeah, my body was ready, both physically and spiritually. And then I got my hands on Titanfall 2, and it was, all right, you guys are going to see live gameplay from some great players. We have, you know, guys like Vicstar, X Factor, Darkness 429, Legion, all the homies playing this game. It's going to be awesome. But before we get into all that good stuff, we have a Q&A coming up with Drew McCoy, who's a producer over at Titanfall. But we want to talk about... Drew, the tech test. What is it?
The tech test is our chance to get the world to help us break Titanfall 2. It's really important we can break it so we can fix it before it launches. We've revamped the way we host servers, our matchmaking. We have this thing called networks, and it's all brand new. And we won't be able to launch effectively in October unless we get everyone's help. So this is really why we're doing the tech test.
Okay.
Yeah, and it just highlights what Respawn Studio feels to be about, which I can imagine touch on a little later. But when can fans get into the tech test? Because that's the next big thing people are asking. They've seen these trailers coming around. They've seen, obviously, Gamescom now kicking in Europe here. Everything's looking good. When can they finally get their hand?
You guys break for us, and then bring it back online on the 26th, next Friday, and then let it roll until the 28th, that would be.
So this is like a true to life.
What sort of, I guess, playable aspects will players be able to do during that tech test? Is everything there, or is this just be very specific, see what they can get into to start with so they can break it? Yeah,
so this is a small slice of the game. We have to make builds for this kind of stuff like months ago, about 6 weeks ago. So we chose a select amount of content. The first weekend, we're going to have 2 maps and 2 modes, which is going to be Bounty Hunt and Pilot versus Pilot. And then on the second weekend, we're going to unlock a third mode and a third map. And we're going to unlock Amped Hardpoint, which is a nice little twist on the game mode from the original game.
Nice. And we're any tips for our competitors as they get ready to enter, their tie-in and enter into the battlefield?
Well, I'm a huge fan of the grapple hook. I mean, you've seen it in the trailers, but there's nothing else like it. It's got some really cool physics to it. You can wrap it around some buildings, change your momentum midair, grapple onto other Titans, get onto them, rip out a battery, grapple onto a pilot, grab him towards you, and punch him in the face. Like, just non-stop fun.
There's so much to do. Yeah. There's so much to do. Well, Drew, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it, man. As always a pleasure. Turn the flip off, and we're in. Oh, my goodness. There we go. All right, everyone. Time for some Titanfall 2 multiplayer, and we're going to be taking a look at Amped Hardpoint. Now, I'm going to run through what Amped Hardpoint is for anyone who may not be aware. So, Hardpoint from Titanfall 1, as long as you possibly can, and you earn double the points in that time frame.
And that just really encourages team play and actually playing for the objective, which is something that not necessarily all game modes do. You do get that guy maybe sitting in the corner. He's going to be punished here. He doesn't get away with that in Titanfall 2. You're already seeing the back-to-back action kicking off. All points really...
Darkness pretty much made his channel on Twitch off of the backbone of Titanfall. I tuned into this dude when Titanfall first came out. Absolutely incredible player. And, he's known for his keyboard and mouse skills, but yet don't get it twisted, people. He's equally as talented with the sticks, with the controller. And now we have Point B being taken over here as they're looking to get this control down.
Now let's take a look at this map as well as to what we're seeing so far. A couple of nades coming out, but really the map progression is lovely. It looks like B is the more contested point. That's kind of the 50-50 split here. Already one team does have a lockdown on that, and you can see Jericho doing some damage in the background already. Once they get called in, just turning the tide here, but it's still quite early into the game.
And here's the thing, we were just checking out Darkness. We're looking at Darkness right now, and they're in a bad position here. 114 since they're earning double the points and just continuing to add on to that scoreboard there. You can see our team here coming right back into the action. Sniper with Jericho and the crew.
Yeah, and you can have weaponry, although at the moment the R201 does seem to be a little superior in this kind of close combat. It's got a nice touch of range to it too, but I know players will have their specialties in this. I felt the brunt of those.
He will not be able to stay alive there. Jericho will pick up a kill of his own on, I think that was Titanfall Legends there. And now we're on board with Darkness. Just picked out Speedy, but Jericho makes short work. This is going to be Vicstar's Titan here, if I'm correct. Yes, this is going to be Vicstar's Titan. So he is going to do a lot of work here. Keep in mind, the other team has not been able to pull out their first Titan as of yet. Trying to grab a hook onto the Titan, though, for that time being, as we jump over to some action. As things calm down here on the side, just trying to get control of the situation. Vicstar finds X Factor and a Rodeo as well. So this is not going to look good. You can pull out one of those battery cores, and that will not be a good look here. Swifter goes in for the Rodeo as well. This is
going to see the Vortex shield. You saw it just up then as well, and there's that grappling hook. That's what we wanted to see. How does it allow the players to get towards these Titans? You can see once again the movement so fluid.
Alluded to before, you can grapple the Titan, you can grapple your own opponents. You actually saw that in the first trailer that we saw for Titanfall 2, and that was actually pretty hype as well. I squealed like a hook. There's the pulse knife. There's a variety of different weapons that you can use to your advantage to be able to give you an advantage on the field.
Yeah, we haven't really seen much from the Pulse Blade just yet, but again, though, these Titans keep coming in on this B point, and it's still being pretty done. Vicstar's having a wonderful run here. He's had this Titan a good couple of times now. He's the one playing without, and oh, here comes the challenge.
This is not going to look good here. Vicstar's pushing in on X Factor. X Factor's in the world of hurt. Is he going to go? And he grabs the arm. He goes in for the leg and absolutely decimates him. What a play there. Vicstar, look at his face. Just pure excitement. It's like a boy in Christmas. Oh, my goodness. What a play.
What an absolute beast. That's going to open up so many opportunities now. Being able to take away a Titan like that is massive. There's two of them currently up for one team, merely one for the other. And funny enough, the team that's leading have two on the field. It generally just means you're doing better. However, the grapples ability spots, but you can't break them down so easy.
Yeah, Darkness ended up picking up Zed there. Vicstar now looking to do some more damage, switching over to Darkness, who pops out that Vortex shield and looks to go in with the laser core. Laser beam from the chest. Can Darkness survive as he pushes forward? Goes in for the melee one more time. Vicstar's a savage. Absolutely decimate. Oh my goodness, Lauren, that was awesome.
You know what? Vicstar may not be a superstar outside of that like some others up there, but in-game right now, he is the superstar. He's playing out of his mind. You're going to see another Titan coming through. I think that's actually Zed's coming up here, so he's going to get a chance to maybe get some revenge on what happened before. He's got a little bit of shield now to himself as well. However, look at those points. They are starting to build up. One team is really closing into this one. It's not far off from the victory. And well, let's see if they can pull this one back from the brink.
Yeah, this is not looking good here. And just to keep in mind, too, you're seeing these different Titans, right? The Titan you see right here is actually called Scorch, and that is going to do it. GG, as our first game is in the books. But I just wanted to...
this, and the time's running down here.
Yeah, and you know what? Another thing you can do that is back from Titanfall, the original game, is, of course, destroying the ship. For Titans, Allier and Vicstar with huge performances there. 19 and what was that, 14 kills there? Or 17 kills. On the other side, Darkness and Cartoons were the superstars.
It was pulling his weight and then some.
Yeah.
Once it felt as though he got the time behind him, he was able to really get back into that battle. And you saw how hard they were having to contest that B point. Again, it does seem as though that's a really being relevant even with those Titans on board. That's the one thing I loved about Titanfall 1, was the fact that you never had the issue of going, oh, how do I get back into it? Once those Titans come down, what can I do? You knew what to do. Now you've got that grappling hook as well. There's so many options. So yeah, this is going to be pretty fun, I can imagine, throughout the day.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, right, I mean, this is a fun experience, right, to be able to play this game for the viewers at home and you know, have it be commentated by myself, a global icon and a national treasure, which I don't blame them, you know what I mean?
The legend.
I would love that as well, you know, balancing out the different kinds of, you know, different kinds of play styles, whether you want to prioritize being, you know, a pilot, which I enjoy doing in the original Titanfall, but after seeing...
Intrinsic to Titanfall 1 is, if you hold high ground through the maps, you do have just a brilliant way of playing out. Now you can couple it with the movement. It does change up a bit. I can imagine the players will be looking to how they can exploit that down the line. That sort of stuff, that sort of gameplay element gets people ticking. And already you're going to see a bit of a disparity in the score. We've got a 3-cap lockdown pretty much, all under wraps. This is not a good start.
Not at all. This is not a good look by any means whatsoever. Cartoons is going to be in a world of hurt as they back away. Trip cap in effect here. No points are amped just yet, so that means they're not going to be earning double, but despite that, still a lot of points on the board. And you also notice that, you know, that Spitfire seeing quite a bit of usage. Vicstar, by the way, already with a great start, picking up 6 kills for his efforts.
Yeah, and I was always a huge fan of going on the flank, trying to play for those back caps, basically working your way around the map. It's viable, but you have to hope that your teammates are locking things down. And I'm hoping to see a couple of players going for that, finding their own routes around this map. A bit of a detonate there to buy some time for the reload. Again, the player's already picking up on factors that it takes a lot of people normally to pick up on. But Cartoons is on the receiving end of a lot of pain here, but actually not going to get closed down on. Zed, however, is finding darkness in the meantime, and a bit of a trade out as Vikkstar will avenge his fallen teammate and keep Gore because it is one-sided.
Yeah, I mean, he tried to move in there for some sweet chin music, Shawn Michaels style. Didn't find it. So, I mean, we all make mistakes. Also, right now, you're going to see, I believe, together of some shots he was getting with the sniper. Pretty impressive stuff, what you can do with that gun. And I'm really looking forward to seeing, like, what content people can create with it, because you can get some nasty shots. Ali now is going to find Vikkstar, and that's going to be a solid pickup with the R201 as they hold A and C. But now the fight for C begins, as all these players, Zed and Ali are going to push in and try and charge as much as they can, but that won't matter because X Factor is going to be there for a double with the grenade on Ali and Zed.
Yeah, a little bit of, I think, much for him. However, when you're in those lower points, when you're in that sort of, I guess, defilade almost, and the higher ground's held by others, you're going to get punished for it.
That's right. That is right. C has now been picked up as well. Pick him off. Zed was just not aware of what was going on. Meanwhile, Titanfall Legends finds one. X Factor, though, with the immediate cleanup as soon as he got that pick. And now we're getting ready here as a trip cap is in effect. This is not looking good for Darkness, X Factor, and his crew.
But let's also look at the percentage on getting those Titans into the battlefield.
Like, in the last game, at this point, around 5 minutes in, we had, I think, like our first Titan at the very least.
Yep.
But it seems like either the players are just prioritizing pilot play a little bit more and not opting to use the Titans until it's absolutely necessary. Also, keep in mind, too, and there you go. So if you're the losing team, you kind of want to bust out the Titans because it can give you a little bit more presence, right, on the field. Just absolutely decimates him with that splitter rifle, moves in with the cannon as well. He just stood no chance there. That was nasty.
Yeah, I love anything like that.
Too fast, man. He was moving too fast. Funny moments. Oh, man. By the way, the weapon that you saw Ion use, that particular Titan, was actually called the laser shot. It's shoulder-mounted in the technical test. Now over to X Factor here as they contain points B and C, but both of them are being challenged here. Jericho now has no idea what's going on, losing half of his to figure out what he wants to do as he has about half health remaining. Here comes Zed again, who gets right back on top, throws down a grenade. This could very well be curtains for X Factor if he's not careful. But despite that, though, Vikkstar's Titan is actually going to get the pick, not Vikkstar himself.
Yeah, currently we have 2 Titans on the battlefield coming in for down between these guys. The points become a little more ground out. You can't just quickly pick up these. It does become tougher. And I think Zed, actually, off the back of what he was achieving before, now has his Titan too. Yeah,
it's a 3v2 as far as Titans are concerned. Darkness trying to throw down, that Vortex shield, and a laser shot coming in, and, very impressive out of Zed, I have to say, who's been holding his own in this game. Darkness is getting pegged in a bunch of different directions. But you notice what he's doing, though. He's actually luring out the, his combatants here, Zed and them. He's forcing them to have to get into a really bad position, but Zed beats him with his own leg. Bye-bye, Darkness. That is it, and you can see the look of disappointment on his face. He's like, I can't believe that just happened to me. But you know what, though? Despite that, 5 Titans out on the field right now. This is looking very, very good for our winning team here.
Yeah, it's looking terrifying for you.
That will be it. 392. I mean, they have 2 points in control right now. Only a couple remain. That is GG. Game 2 in the books. But man, that was awesome. Some great late Titan action, though, I have to say, because we were going for quite a while before those Titans came out. But once they came out, you really started to see
the ship itself. How it's going to come down to pretty much pilot play, and already a good couple of pieces coming out very nicely into the winning side's favor, which is going to make it incredibly hard to make the escape. Again, you only have very limited options. He has been a beast at this point, but Sniper Wolf over there trying to hunt down that remaining couple of players, see if anyone's going to dare try and make it towards the ship. And at the moment, that ship is getting broken, and it's done, and it's movement where you're a fan of just simple, gun gameplay. It just appeals to a lot of people, and it got the attention of a lot of the hardcore audience who sits there and kind of brushes off most games where they saw. I love the way the whole landscape changes once you get those Titans out, once you see these monsters kind of approach the field. And Well, already one team really just nail it then.
I mean, the cool part about Titanfall is, you know, Titan priority, right? You want to be able to like manage when you bust out the Titan, when you can actually, you know, begin your pushes. It's very team and not lose your Titan right away. It's much better for you to be able to work together as a team to be able to make this happen. Our third and final map of the day here, folks, for Titanfall 2, but of course don't fret because you guys will be able to play the technical test, which will be happening this weekend. So all that you're seeing right here,
pilot heavy map. Swift having a fantastic angle on that, just strafing around the corner, taking out Cartoons. And let's pick it up with him actually. Let's see from his perspective how he now gets back into the game. Allier around the back though, not going to allow him to get away with that. The punish comes through, and you've got to be careful in this area. You do not have the high ground. You do not have that advantage at all to your favor. We are seeing a bit of the wall running coming out, but maybe not to their advantage.
B is going to go to Vicstar and his crew as we jump over to his perspective now. And Jericho going for the challenge, but is going to save his teammate Swifter, as the pressure is now going to be coming from Swifter at the very least. But seems like Vicstar is just going to push over to the left side, finds Jericho in front of him. That's going to be an easy pickup with the R201.
Yeah, Vicstar has been an absolute beast so far in this one, and I can imagine we'll be seeing more of that again here. However, the points are being contested. You can see them running back in and out, trying to get this one started up, trying to pull the scoreline a little more even, because at the moment it's far from it. And there's that grapple hook again, just kind of covering the terrain a little bit quicker, creating other opportunities now, trying to peer down. Not going to find too much. I think you can just see the very edge of one. I think that's actually Titanfall Legends there, going in on the
skill that he has, because he ended up tossing that one against the wall there. But, you know, we all make mistakes. Meanwhile, X Factor, easy pickings there because Darkness was weakened from both of those grenades. And a class change.
The grapple hook, guys, I've told you before, you can't just put it on the ground in front of them and hope for the best. It's not that type of game. You've got to use it correctly because the lockdown is coming out at the moment. And even though the points are actually starting to become a little bit more even, the disparity is starting to kind of wear away. There's still one team in the lead here. That could change around, however.
Well, if the other team is able to pick up that B point and amp it up, they should be able to get right back into this game here. They're down by, you know, by a considerable amount, you know, about, what is this, what, 30 points now? So it is very doable.
Pressure now coming in left, right, and center. Going to put down the nades, buy a little time, pray for regen at this point. Going to back away, and it even finds one. Swifter, you got to be quicker on the trigger than that, and a little bit smarter. As already he gets punished by that nade being trickled out. Yeah,
X Factor there couldn't stay alive long enough. Ali, no, that's going to be Darkness. As a matter of fact, finds Titanfall. Let drop
it is
the first one potentially, but they don't have that B point, and that Titan won't actually help all that much on the B point because it is so pilot focused. You want to be able to push in and get some kind of control there. Wait a minute, though. Player's going to be right to his right side. Now it's going to be Vicstar. It's okay. It's okay, Jericho.
Actually, which I know these players, once this comes out, once that tech test becomes available, these players out there who play Titanfall 1 will know that kind of skill and ability of when to stick in towards staying in your Titan and when to actually take yourself out.
As the Titans have unique abilities. Scorch, known for, you know, his fire abilities, whether it be the firewall or, you know, being able to throw down the smoke grenade and then create an explosion in front. There's just a lot of really cool things that you can do with these Titans.
Yeah, and it's really good to deny areas pretty much towards the opposition to try and get up close and personal.
Oh, it's Jericho's Titan. Sniper Wolf, though, not in a great position, taking a lot of shots there. Nade's now flying in, Titan right in front. Who's this going to be? Is I believe Vicstar's going to...
They're not in the clearest of minds here. But the movement that actually comes with these Titans, they are not sluggish. They have a lot of quick movement here. The strafing capability, you can see that blue bar still available. So again, you could see a little bit of a quick play off the back of this. And I love seeing those Titan battles. Not going to connect, though. You can't pull that sort of stuff off. Again, that's what the movement allows you to do. Dodge, weave, dip, and duck, and you can actually do some real damage off the back of it.
That is horrible and just absolutely shredded. Cartoons does get the pick off there on Speedy, and sorry about that, buddy. Now over to Sniper Wolf, as that will do it, folks. Game 3 in the books, but I have to say, it was awesome.
Yeah, that was incredible to try and make it out of here. The great escape, you might call it at this point, but with this much dominance, it's going to be tricky. However, they do have the Titans up, so they can make a bit of a battle on the way out. They can try and put a bit of a quick stand up on this one, but still not going to be easy to do in this situation.
You know, I say fight all the way, you know? Like, just slug it out and get that, you know, get the small win on the winning team. So for him, it doesn't really matter. Oh, no, Swifter, get in there. Swifter, no. Oh, never mind. I completely forgot. When he missed it, I was like, Swifter, why? Yeah, I know. And luckily for you, Lauren, you can. this weekend. The tech test happens.
Golden boy.
It's going to be great, of course. Again, big thank you to all of our contestants, all the guys who participated in this one. Always fun to watch them play some Titanfall. But now, let's go ahead and bring back Drew. Drew, how's it going, man? How was that?
That was awesome. It's great to see people playing the game finally.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, some robot on robot action.
Oh, love it. Love it.
It was a little, you know, violent there. You know, they would
pre-launch that gas canister, then hit it with your thermite launcher or your firewall to set it ablaze when they're right in it. So you get all these cool kind of combos with their abilities like that.
Nice.
And we saw a couple of the guns coming through already, a couple of the different loadouts. What's your favorite loadout? Because I can imagine you've been playing this a fair bit. I can imagine there's more to come, but just from the available amount we have here, what's your favorite so far?
So in the second weekend of Tech Test, we're going to raise the level cap from 10 to 15. And one of the weapons in that spread is the alternator. It's a dual-barreled SMG.
For content creators, but it's also great for just fans as well who want to play with their friends. What is Networks exactly?
So Networks is is our user-generated groups of players. There's worldwide voice chat for everyone involved. So it serves a lot of different purposes, and it's actually a big reason we wanted to get the Tech Test out there so people can try it out, see what it does, help us break it. And any network you create in the Tech Test will carry over into the retail game.
Yeah,
that's actually pretty awesome.
I know that the hardcore FPS audience out there will be sitting there going, I can get my clan into this. Like, being able to appeal to that.
Is single player, and I'm very excited for that. And I believe that you guys brought an awesome clip.
Yeah, we got a little teaser for you guys.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a look, and then we'll talk about some more single player. I'm going to just stand back. Okay. So one thing that people may not connect the dots on if they're just joining in the Titanfall family early on, or later on, I should say, is that the team behind Titanfall 2 and Titanfall, it's the same crew that brought us Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. So that incredible storytelling that we saw in those games past, here at Titanfall 2, you guys are looking basically to do the same thing again and just floor us with an incredible story.
Yeah, a lot of the core guys from the team, and dare I say there's even puzzles and like platforming and problem solving and some of this kind of stuff. It's totally awesome, and it's not like anything else you can get. We've got pilot combat, which makes up a large portion of the games. It's great. Got Titan combat, another large portion of the game. We also have that the pilot mobility stuff you can do, wall running, double jumping. We really try to take that to the culmination of what we want players to be able to do with that in this game. So there's a lot of cool stuff in there.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Looking back at the previous work that the Respawn team has done, you guys really did. The fans out there, it must be great though to be able to build this storyline now around Titanfall as well, because everyone was kind of sitting there going, well, this is great action, we love the gameplay, but what's the story behind it? Now that allows you the chance to
be able to hang out with them pretty much.
Smell their musk.
Smell their musk. It gets a little sweaty in California, but. No, it's been really great. These guys have had a chance. Everyone has just been pouring their heart and soul into the single-player game and the multiplayer game.
It's awesome. I know. I remember, watching and seeing the world. And I mean, again, this is that crew that made those incredible games and those incredible campaigns. In not having that in the first one, so I'm glad that we're finally going to be able to get this. Do I figure out where the dragons come from in that one? I just want to know these things. Why you do this?
The dragons are back. We got some new things, a story, universe, characters, a little bit of the lore, but also lets us to focus in on a story specifically about one pilot and one Titan. It's pretty unique.
Nice. I'm excited. I can't wait.
I'm in the same boat as you. I just need to go now and play this game.
I know. You need to just stop hosting this event and come with me, and then let's just go play Titanfall. Let's remind everyone one more time how people can get involved.
If you want to know exactly when it's available to download, go to Titanfall.com, sign up to get the emails. But, on a more broad scale, Friday the 19th, that's when it starts. We'll close it that Sunday, and then bring it back online on Friday the 26th. This is all in August. So next 2 weekends, get out there, play it, break it, give us lots of bugs to fix. We want this game to be awesome when it comes out October 28th.
Nice.
All right, well, I think that pretty much...
Thank you. It's great.
You go. Look, he's a big fan now. All right, we're going to let Golden Boy head off and actually get some gameplay himself. He's out. He's done. But, guys, it has been an absolute pleasure. Do stick around, though. We've got a lot